Hello, this is a quick look at my Full Mechanics Iron-Blooded Orphans Bael, or many Westerners seem to refer to it as Bael, B-A-E-L. It's a Gundam. It's an actual Gundam. Full Mechanics, reduced level of difficulty, reduced level of complexity, reduced level of detail relative to a master grade. They have never done a master grade of this as of the time of the recording of this video. But what's interesting about this kit in particular is this is my first ever airbrushed Gunpla kit. First kit that I fully painted with an airbrush. There's one other kit that I airbrushed upon that wasn't strictly Gundam, but a Bandai kit. But I'll cover that at a different time. But this is the whole deal. This is the whole thing. My first time going all the way through covering everything up. Now this could definitely benefit significantly from some more weathering work. I used some Tamiya weathering powder on it, and I forget what else. It's also, I did some paint applications, did paint the swords fully, but for the most part, this was, just airbrush work. Oh yeah, that's right. I did some dry brushing on some of the frame bits as well, just a little bit. But I didn't want this to look too dirty. However, I do want to make it look dirtier than it does right now. I want it to look a little bit more used. This one was in my backlog for a very long time. I got the kit fairly early on in my Gunpla journey, and it just sat there because I knew that I wanted to repaint it. I am not a big fan of most Gundams being white with some blue in them and maybe a little bit of red and yellow. And this was white with some blue in it and a little bit of yellow. Maybe not the red, but yeah. I immediately in my brain saw like a tan color for it. I don't know if it took too much inspiration from the desert sands, but this is where I ended up with it. It's a custom color for the main armor, custom color for the kind of metallic, the few metallic orangish bits, such as the fins in the chest and also little thruster outlets here. And if I recall correctly, the gray, this looks like white, is actually a gray. I think I mixed that custom as well. I'm trying to remember if I primed this or not. I want to say I did prime it. Yeah. If I were to do this again, I would probably pre-shade it. I think it would be pretty easy to pre-shade this. You know, it has some fairly large, very noticeable major panel segments to it, but I'm pretty happy with the level of detail in this armor, especially for a Full Mechanics kit of its day. You know, not a modern Full Mechanics kit, but the IBO Full Mechanics kit. It looks pretty good. The inner frame being the gray. I forget if I painted this inner frame. I think I did paint the inner frame as well. Yeah, I think I painted that with just spray cans to darken it down. But the armor itself, I think, has enough panel lines, enough little interesting detailed bits in it to make it work pretty well. The swords originally were this just like candy, orangish, gold kind of color. So that had to go. No, wait. Were they gray? It's been a while. Sorry, I forget. Were they gray or were they that candy? Because one of the versions of this kit, one of the versions of Bael or Bael, had the gold. But did this one have them just in gray? They definitely looked a lot different than this. I'll need to go back. I'll need to go back and check the tape on that. But ultimately, like I said, I'm happy with the experience. Not entirely happy with where this landed because it needs just more weathering. That's it. So I definitely will at some point go back and do a little bit more effective chipping and some dust. I'll use some very thin washes with sponges to try to use the stippling technique to build up some mottling, like I've done on a couple kits now. Just very, very subtle, so that it doesn't look just so flat and plain and clean. It definitely looks too clean to me as it is. But the color is good. The color is what I want. The color is what I always wanted. Maybe even a little bit better, a little bit desaturated from my original plan for this, my original hope, long before I got to the point where I could take on a painting project. But I like that this is different. I like that it's not just a white Gundam with some blue on it. And what are these binders? What are these things? They have a lot of range of motion on them, which is pretty cool. Got thankfully the adapter in there to actually this one. Oh, I didn't use the adapter on this one. No, this one I just used a clamp. Again, it's been a minute, but I just used the clamp style of end piece on this 1/3 of a action base 4 that I've used here, and it's rotated 45 degrees off the main stock, which allows it to have a little bit of an interesting action pose to it. But again, I'll do more on this in the future, but this is where it's at right now. I just wanted to share it. Thank you for watching. Remember, Gunpla is freedom. Don't let anybody tell you how to enjoy your hobby, and don't tell anybody else how to enjoy their hobby. You can give suggestions of things, but don't try to take over anybody else's goodness and happiness, and actively reject elitism. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.